2 minutes ago, the WNBA was flipped completely on its head. And no, this ain't about buzzer beaters or highlight dunks, this just got personal. Caitlin Clark, America's Golden Girl and the rookie sensation lighting up the court, just snapped on none other than Angel Reese and the entire Chicago Sky Squad in an explosive showdown that has fans screaming, players stunned, and the internet on absolute fire. Y'all, this wasn't just your average trash talk on the court. This was built-up tension, silent beef, and a powder keg waiting to blow, and baby, it blew. Cameras caught Caitlin mid-game storming off the court during a timeout, pointing directly at Angel Reese and yelling words that had the entire bench frozen in shock. Coaches tried to step in. Teammates held her back. But the damage was already done. What triggered this eruption? Was it Angel's now infamous stare down? Was it a dirty foul? Or did something deeper boil over from the brewing rivalry that's had fans comparing, debating, and drawing lines in the sand all season long? Whatever it was, Caitlin had had enough. And when she let loose, it wasn't just heat, it was straight-up flames, and it didn't stop there. Insiders claim Clark's post-game comments left reporters speechless, with veiled shots and chilling silence when asked about Angel Reese by name. Social media is in meltdown mode, with hashtag Caitlin vs Angel trending worldwide and fans choosing sides faster than you can say technical foul. This isn't just a sports story, this is reality TV-level drama playing out in real time under the bright lights of the W, and trust us when we say, it's about way more than basketball. Stick around, because we're diving into every explosive second of what really happened, what was said behind the scenes, and why this feud just turned deadly serious. The night started like any other high-stakes WNBA showdown. The Indiana Fever were in town, and the crowd at the Wintrust Arena in Chicago was buzzing with anticipation. Fans were packed to the rafters, phones out, merch flying off the racks, and the energy, it was electric. But nobody could have predicted how quickly the vibe would shift from competitive to combustible. And at the center of it all, Caitlin Clark, calm, focused, but clearly holding back something major. From the moment she stepped onto the court, you could feel the tension in the air. She didn't high-five Angel Reese during warm-ups, no head nod, no eye contact, nothing, just an icy aura that didn't go unnoticed. Cameras zoomed in, commentators made awkward jokes. Looks like someone woke up extra locked in tonight, they laughed. But what they didn't realize was that Caitlin wasn't just locked in, she was boiling. Sources later confirmed that the animosity had been building for weeks behind the scenes. Clark had grown increasingly frustrated with what she privately described to close friends as disrespect and unnecessary antics coming from the Chicago Sky, specifically Angel. "I don't mind trash talk," she told a teammate during practice, but at some point, it starts feeling like something else, something personal. And baby, it was about to get personal. The first quarter started like any other. Caitlin hit a deep three early, sending the Fever bench into a frenzy. But not 5 seconds later, Angel answered with a hard drive to the basket, drawing a foul and flexed directly in Caitlin's direction. The message was clear. "Not in my house." Caitlin didn't react. Not yet. But that fire behind her eyes, you could see it. Each possession became more intense, harder screens, sharper elbows. And when Caitlin was knocked down after a contested layup and Angel stepped over her, it was on. The crowd gasped, the ref blew the whistle, but Caitlin, she got up slowly, brushed herself off, and glared at Angel like she was memorizing every detail of that moment for later. And later came fast. Second quarter, timeout called. Indiana huddled up. Cameras flung over to the bench, and that's when it happened. Caitlin exploded. She stood up mid-huddle, threw her towel to the ground, and pointed toward the Sky bench. "Y'all think this is cute," she shouted. "You want to keep playing dirty? Let's play then. Let's really play." The arena fell into stunned silence, the Fever coach tried to calm her down. Teammates reached for her arms, but Caitlin wasn't done. "She's been crossing lines all season," she barked. And everyone's too scared to say it. Reporters sitting courtside captured every second. The clip hit Twitter within minutes, and fans could barely believe their eyes. America's sweetheart Caitlin Clark was snapping, and not just snapping, she was calling Angel Reese out by name. By halftime, the internet was in full meltdown mode. Did Caitlin Clark just go FF on Angel Reese? WNBA beef is officially realer than NBA drama. Clark just activated her villain arc. Inside the locker room, emotions were high. Teammates tried to talk her down, but Caitlin wasn't having it. "I'm tired of pretending like this is normal," she said. "She cheap shots me, mocks me, disrespects me every game, and nobody says anything because they're scared of the headlines. I'm not scared, not anymore. And if you think that was the end of it, baby, you haven't been watching long enough." Because when the teams came back out for the second half, it wasn't just a basketball game anymore. It was a war. The third quarter opened with a flagrant foul, Angel catching Caitlin with a shoulder bump that sent her sprawling. The whistle blew immediately. Players from both teams rushed in. Coaches stepped onto the court. The ref held up his hand for a review, but the damage had already been done. Caitlin jumped up, face red, adrenaline coursing through her. "That's what you gotta do to stop me," she screamed. "Hit me like it's the UFC." Angel smirked. "You ain't special, girl. You just loud." And that was the spark. The benches cleared, players holding each other back as chaos erupted. No punches, but the screaming. The pointing, the rage, oh, it was all there. The ref ejected two players from each team, not Caitlin or Angel, but that didn't matter. The crowd was roaring, fans were filming. The WNBA had never seen anything like this. By the end of the third quarter, both teams were emotionally spent. The score was neck and neck, but Caitlin, she was possessed. She dropped back-to-back threes with ice in her veins, and with each one, she stared Angel down like she was carving her name into her soul. Angel wasn't backing down either. She countered with her own buckets, mouthing words only Caitlin could hear, words that made Caitlin pause, flinch, narrow her eyes. After the game, Indiana ultimately winning by 4, Caitlin skipped the handshake line entirely. Cameras caught her walking directly to the tunnel, not even acknowledging the sky. Bench reporters rushed to her in the post-game presser. "Caitlin, was there tension between you and Angel Reese tonight?" A long pause. Then, softly, "I think fans saw what they needed to see." Next question. Do you feel targeted by players like Angel? Another pause. "I feel like I'm expected to stay quiet while others cross lines they'd never let me near, and I'm done with that." That statement alone sent the internet into a tailspin. Was Caitlin calling out the league? Was she talking about favoritism, double standards, colorism? The comment sections were in flames. Meanwhile, Angel posted a cryptic tweet. "If you can't take the heat, stay off the court." Fans chose sides instantly. Hashtag Team Caitlin versus hashtag Team Angel lines were drawn. Podcasts dropped emergency episodes. TikToks analyzed every angle, every gesture, every word. It wasn't just sports anymore. It was drama. High-stakes, reality TV-style drama. But what no one knew yet was that Caitlin hadn't said everything, not even close. Because after that game, she went home, turned her phone off, and told her best friend something chilling. "This isn't over," she whispered. She made it personal. "Now I will too." Caitlin sat in her hotel room that night, the city of Chicago buzzing just beyond her window, but her mind miles away. She had her phone off, her shades drawn, and her jaw clenched so tight it hurt. That game was supposed to be another step in her rookie journey, another hard-fought battle in a rising career. But instead, it became the moment everything changed. She replayed Angel's words in her head. "You ain't special, girl. You just loud. It wasn't just trash talk. It wasn't just competitive fire. It was a direct shot at her entire identity, the crowd, the cameras. The fame Angel resented all of it. Caitlyn had sensed it from the beginning, but she had never expected it to explode like this. The next morning, ESPN ran the clip on a loop. Debate shows were in full meltdown mode. Caitlyn Clark is finally speaking up, said one anchor. And people aren't ready for it. Angel Reese has never been afraid of confrontation, another chimed in. But did this cross a line? Even former players jumped in. Some praised Caitlyn for standing her ground. Others sided with Angel, calling Caitlyn's comments passive-aggressive privilege. The sports world wasn't just watching, they were picking sides. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the league was panicking. Executives called emergency meetings to discuss the fallout. Sponsors were nervous, ticket sales were skyrocketing, but the tension was undeniable. And when rumors began swirling that Angel had received a fine for her unsportsmanlike behavior, things got ugly. Angel went live. In a fiery Instagram session that drew over 200,000 viewers in less than 10 minutes, she let the world have it. "I'm not gonna sit here and be the villain y'all want me to be," she snapped. "I play hard. I talk my talk. I don't bow down to anybody. So if Caitlyn Clark or anybody else got a problem, they can come see me on the court." She didn't stop there. "Funny how I get fined, but when other players act out, y'all call it passion. What's really the difference, huh?" Ah, wait. The comment section exploded. Some called her brave, others called her combative. But one thing was clear, this beef wasn't cooling down anytime soon. Caitlyn's camp saw the live and advised her to stay quiet. "Let it blow over," her manager said. "You don't want to look petty," but Caitlyn had it. Later that night, she posted a black and white photo of herself, head down, hands clasped, with a caption that read, "When they go low, I get buckets, no tags, no names." But everybody knew, and the timing, ruthless. Just an hour before Chicago Sky was set to tip off against the Las Vegas Aces, Angel saw it. And according to a source in the locker room, she laughed, then went completely silent. "She's trying to play innocent now?" Angel said under her breath, "Nah, I'm done playing nice." What happened next was insane. Midway through the game, Angel clearly got into it with her own teammate over a missed defensive rotation. The two exchanged heated words, with Angel waving her arms dramatically and yelling, "You can't expect me to do everything." Cameras caught the whole exchange. Commentators didn't even know what to say. Back in Indiana, Caitlyn was watching the game at a team dinner with her Fever teammates. As the footage of Angel arguing played on the screen, she whispered to a friend, "She's unraveling." But Caitlyn didn't smile, she didn't gloat. Because deep down, she wasn't enjoying this. It wasn't about one game anymore. It wasn't even about basketball, it was about respect. The next day, both women were scheduled to appear at a WNBA promotional event in New York, a charity gala supporting youth athletics. Rumors had already started flying. Would they share the stage? Would they speak? Would they even look at each other? Rashida, one of the event's celebrity hosts, confirmed the tension was real. "Chilly," she said during a red carpet interview. "This is giving love and hip-hop. WNBA edition. I'm just here to keep the peace." When Caitlyn arrived, she walked the carpet gracefully, head held high, outfit sleek and simple. Angel showed up 20 minutes later, glamorous, bold, eyes locked straight ahead. They never crossed paths until the seating chart forced it. At the VIP dinner, Caitlyn and Angel were seated 2 tables apart but facing each other. For nearly an hour, they said nothing. Not a glance, not a nod, just ice. But then came the Q&A panel. A reporter asked, "Do you think the competitiveness between you two is good for the game?" Caitlyn took a breath. "Competition is always good. but only when it's rooted in respect. Gasps! Angel raised her eyebrows, smiled, grabbed the mic. Respect goes both ways. Just remember that. The room went silent. The tension was so thick, you could cut it with a steak knife. After the event, someone from Angel's PR team accidentally leaked a private message thread to a gossip blogger. In the messages, Angel was venting to a close friend. "She's not built for this," the message read. "She's cracking because I'm not scared of her spotlight," and deep down, "She knows I'm better." The blog posted screenshots within minutes. And boom, another explosion online. Hashtag "She knows I'm better" started trending. Fans were dissecting the messages, posting memes, making TikToks. It was chaos. Caitlyn, upon seeing the leak, didn't cry, didn't rage. She walked into practice the next day and dropped 12 straight threes during warm-up. Not a word, just pure focus. But later that evening, she sent a message to the league commissioner. "I want a one-on-one. Just me and Angel, mic'd up. Let the world see it." The commissioner declined, citing league image concerns. So Caitlyn took matters into her own hands. She posted a story to her 3.2 million followers. "Don't need a mic. Y'all will hear me loud and clear. See you soon, Chicago." And just like that, the rematch was set, Indiana versus Chicago, in 2 weeks. Tickets sold out in less than 48 hours. Resale prices soared past $1,000. ESPN announced it would air the game in prime time. Commentators called it the most anticipated matchup in WNBA history. Meanwhile, Angel doubled down. She started training harder than ever, posting cryptic workout videos with captions like "If pressure busts pipes, get ready for the flood." Caitlyn stayed silent, but according to her teammates, she was preparing to. This wasn't just a game, it was personal, and both women were ready to burn the house down to prove their point. The rematch was all anyone could talk about. SportsCenter ran countdown clocks. Fans camped outside the arena 2 days early. Social media was flooded with wild predictions, fan-made trailers, and merch that read things like "Clark versus Reese," "Settle it on the court," and "She knows I'm better" to remind us 2025. This wasn't just a WNBA game, it had become a cultural moment. Every ticket sold, every camera pointed, every eye watching. Game night arrived and the arena, unreal. Celebrities filled the front row. Drake, Ice Spice, LeBron, even Michelle Obama was rumored to be watching from a private suite. And in the middle of this chaos stood two women who, just months ago, were college basketball's biggest stars. Now full-blown rivals on a national stage. Caitlin Clark emerged from the tunnel first, headphones on, no smile, just a silent, deadly calm. Her Indiana Fever jersey hugged her frame as if it were armor. Angel came out moments later, braids slick, eyeliner sharp. Her Chicago Sky jersey practically shimmered in the lights. The crowd roared for both, but the cheers were laced with tension. You couldn't cheer for one without picking a side. And from the very first possession, the game delivered. Angel opened with a block on Caitlin's very first shot. She didn't just block it, she snatched it, held it up for the crowd to see. Caitlin sprinted back on defense, jaw tight, already plotting her response. And when the next play came, she answered. Deep three, splash, no celebration. Just a stone-cold look directly at Angel. The arena lost it. From that moment on, it was war. Every trip down the floor was a new chapter in their rivalry. Caitlin hit a mid-range jumper, Angel bodied her in the paint. Caitlin dished a no-look. Assist, Angel turned around and hit a spin move that left defenders frozen. It was highlight after highlight, not just in skill, but in attitude. The trash talk was next level. You're nothing without the hype, Angel muttered after a rebound. Caitlin fired back, better hype than hide. You still ducking that mixed-up challenge? Oof. Midway through the second quarter, things escalated again. Caitlin drove hard to the rim and drew a foul from Angel. As she walked to the free throw line, Angel clapped slowly and loudly in her face. "Cute. Now finish it," she said. Caitlin drained both shots, didn't break eye contact. Halftime came with Indiana up by 3. Both teams walked off the court like warriors returning from battle, sweat dripping, chests heaving, pride still intact but bruised. Inside the locker room, Caitlin sat with a towel over her head. One of her teammates leaned in. "You okay?" She nodded. "I'm good." But inside, she was furious. Not just with Angel, but with everything. The way people questioned her toughness. The way every move she made was hyperanalyzed. The way the league seemed to both market her and muscle her. "I'm tired of being the symbol," she said quietly. "Let me be the player." Back in the Sky locker room, Angel wasn't quiet. "She's trying to play victim," she vented. "But she started this. I'm not about to apologize for making her uncomfortable. That's not my job." Their coaches said little. At that point, nothing could be said. The game and the feud had taken on a life of its own. The second half began and it was all-out chaos. Bodies hitting the floor, elbows flying, both teams racking up fouls. At one point, Caitlin and Angel collided midair going for a rebound and fell hard. The arena gasped. Caitlin got up first, extended her hand to Angel. Angel swatted it away. Gasps turned to howls, and Caitlin, she just nodded. "Cool." She walked off, lips pursed, heart pounding. That moment would be on every screen in America by morning. But the climax was still to come. Final 2 minutes. Game tied. Caitlin has the ball, top of the key. Angel switches onto her. It's happening. One-on-one, no help, no excuses. Caitlin dribbles. Angel squares up, step back, three-pointer, splash. The crowd explodes. Angel spins around, fists clenched, furious, humiliated. Caitlin jogs back, turns slightly, and mutters 2 words. "Respect that." Angel doesn't respond. She just lowers her eyes. Indiana wins. Cameras swarm Caitlin. The world is screaming. Reporters yell over one another. How does it feel to beat Chicago in this kind of atmosphere? She wipes her face with a towel. Felt like I was playing for more than just the scoreboard. Any comment on your matchup with Angel Reese? She pauses. Then, we both compete hard. That's what the league needs, right? Rivalries, but there's a line. What line? Caitlin smiles faintly. The one I won't let anyone cross again. Boom, post-game, Angel doesn't take the podium. She leaves the arena through the back tunnel. Silent, visibly shaken, back online. It's a frenzy. Hashtag respect that trends instantly. Memes fly. Fans go wild. She gave her the work and the words. One tweet reads, "You don't have to like Caitlin Clark, but you will respect her." Another declares, "But some fans defend Angel. She's still elite. She be back." Others say the league set her up to be the villain. The divide grows deeper. ESPN debates the racial optics of the feud. Cultural critics jump in. Think pieces are published overnight. The drama spills into mainstream media, but Caitlin, she's silent. She doesn't post, doesn't tweet. She just flies home, quiet, focused, and later that night, in a quiet moment with her coach, she says, "I don't need to win every game. Just the ones that matter. And this one, oh, it mattered." The media circus didn't die down, it intensified. Caitlin Clark's statement, "Just the ones that matter," hit like a grenade in the sports world. Podcasts dissected it, highlight. Reels used it as voiceover. And hashtag, "Just the ones that matter" became more than a quote, it became a movement. Her fans wore it on shirts. Her haters turned it into a meme. Either way, she was everywhere. But for Angel Reese, it was a different story. Her silence was loud. No press, no tweets, no Instagram posts. Just a cryptic story white text on a black background. Sometimes you play the villain so long, you forget who you really are. Speculation ran wild. Was she stepping back? Was the pressure too much? Had the WNBA crowned one queen too quickly and crushed the other in the process? Meanwhile, behind closed doors, Angel's inner circle was in full spin control mode. Her PR team encouraged her to issue a statement of sportsmanship. Her coach suggested she schedule a sit-down interview to reset the narrative. But Angel wasn't interested in apologies or image rehab. "They want me to play nice," she told her cousin in a phone call that leaked later. But all that does is let her win twice. "I'm not built to smile through shade." Caitlyn, on the other hand, was busy working. No media antics, no subtle jabs. Just gym time, film sessions, and a calm, focused demeanor that was starting to scare even her own teammates. "She's locked in like never before," one Fever player said. This whole thing, it flipped a switch. Then came the players' only roundtable on NBA TV. Caitlyn and Angel were both invited. Cameras, no referees. No crowds, just raw, unfiltered conversation between league stars. Most expected one of them to decline. Shockingly, both accepted. The day of the taping was heavy with anticipation. Behind-the-scenes staff said the air in the room felt like a courtroom before a verdict. The women sat side by side, Angel in an all-black designer tracksuit, Caitlyn in a white blazer over a Fever tee, polar opposites, yin and yang. Silence stretched for what felt like hours. The host cleared his throat. "Let's talk about it." And just like that, the floodgates opened. Angel went first. "I didn't grow up trying to be liked. I grew up trying to be heard. People think I'm angry. No, I'm fed up. Every time I talk, it's classless. Every time she talks, it's confident. Tell me that's not bias." Caitlyn nodded slowly, then leaned in. "I never asked to be the poster child, and I never said I was better than anyone. But I worked hard, and when I show up, I show out. If that makes people uncomfortable, that's not my problem." Angel smirked, "Except you had a problem when I talked back." Caitlyn's eyes narrowed. "I had a problem when it stopped being about the game." Silence. The host asked, "So is this personal?" Caitlyn and Angel both responded at the same time, "Yes." Another pause. Angel broke it, but maybe it needed to be. Caitlyn tilted her head. Maybe it still does. Boom, that clip alone got 12 million views in less than an hour. And when the full episode aired, the world finally saw two women flawed, fierce, unfilteredly, everything on the table. No scripts, no brands, just truth. By the end of the special, they still weren't friends, but they weren't enemies either. They were something else entirely, rivals but now with respect. The aftermath was massive. The WNBA leaned in hard. New ads dropped overnight featuring Caitlyn and Angel back-to-back, facing opposite directions with the slogan, "The fire, the frost, the future." Fans went wild, and then the final twist, a joint appearance. Caitlyn and Angel, together, announced a nationwide youth basketball initiative. A traveling camp for girls teaching skills, mental health, and media training. They'd hit 12 cities, lead workshops, and run clinics. Not as best friends, not as co-stars, but as two powerful forces proving that women can compete and lead. "We'll still go at each other every game," Caitlyn said, "but off the court. We're building something bigger." Angel nodded. "You can fight and still grow. That's real life." The press was stunned. Fans were floored. They'd gone from beef to brilliance. And when they returned to the court weeks later for another rematch this time, the energy was different. Still electric, still aggressive, but cleaner, more focused, less chaos, more clarity. Caitlyn dropped 25, Angel had 18 points and 12 boards. They fist-bumped at the buzzer, not because the feud was over, but because the message had evolved. This wasn't just about them anymore. It was about every girl watching. And in the tunnel that night, Caitlyn turned to Angel and said quietly, "We good?" Angel smirked. "We complicated, but yeah, we good." That clip no mix, cut by a lucky crew member, became the most replayed WNBA moment of the season. Because after all the drama, the digs, the dirt, and the tension, it ended not with an apology, but with understanding, not with peace, but with progress. And in a league desperate for visibility, this rivalry-turned revolution gave fans something they never expected, a reason to believe. And there you have it, folks. What started as a fiery feud turned into one of the most unforgettable chapters in WNBA history. Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese didn't just clash, they collided. They brought the heat, the heart, and the headlines. From on-court clashes to off-court shade, from viral quotes to locker room explosions, these two gave us reality TV-level drama in the form of elite-level basketball. But more than that, they gave us a moment. They showed the world that women in sports don't need to play nice to be respected, that rivalries don't divide, they elevate, that you can go head-to-head, toe-to-toe, and still stand tall at the end of it all. This wasn't just about buckets and buzzer beaters, it was about identity, respect, and the power of voice in a game that has too often asked women to sit quietly. So now, the question is, what's next? Will this fragile understanding between Caitlyn and Angel hold? Or is another blow-up just one hard foul away? Will they continue to use their platforms to uplift? Or will competitive fire reignite the war? And what about the rest of the league? Can the W handle the pressure of two queens on one court? That's where you come in. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you Team Caitlyn or Team Angel? Or are you here for the fireworks and the future? Don't forget to like this video if you live for this kind of high-stakes sports drama. Subscribe for the latest updates from the hardwood trenches. And hit that notification bell so you never miss the tea when it spills, because baby, in there, Wunba, it always does. Until next time. Keep watching, keep debating, and remember, this ain't just basketball. This is reality.